So here's an example of how I write my goals, and I'm going to show you so that I can outline where problems come in, not only for myself, I've literally crashed on so many of these, as well as helping other people. So if this were my body goals for the year, and just so you know, this is a bit incomplete, so don't take it verbatim. So I would say, hey, here's my goal, 1 year goal. So I want to be strong, I want to be high energy, high immunity, high endurance, high agility. All right, increase overall strength by 200 pounds. That's not that much if you really think about it, because we're talking about deadlifts between now and a year from now. How many pounds did I increase it by? That would be squats added to that. That would be bench press. That would be back and all these things. Okay, so increase overall strength, increase endurance by 90 minutes. Why? Okay, to sustain the ability to achieve my goals, right? So if I have a broken down body, I'm not going to be able to achieve my goals. Ability to play sports with my kids. Ability to protect myself and my family in case of need. All right, what are my guiding principles? Well, a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. I tend to push that envelope a little bit too much. No savage exercising. All right, I'm not 25 anymore. So I need to take gradient steps, right? And then 3 to 4 exercise days per week. All right, so this over here is the thing that I'm going to be talking about in this video, is these steps right here and the importance of them and the importance of not overloading them, all right? But let me go ahead and show you the rest of this, which is, all right, so what's my plan? Well, project number 1 is exercise target, so I go through that. Project number 2 is the diet target. I go through that. Project number 3 is the supplement target. Project number 4 is the sleep target. Okay, so I have found that those are the variables, or the factors that create an outcome. If I haven't figured out how to control my body weight at this age, then I'll never will, right? So these are the variables that I've used to basically increase, decrease, whatever I've wanted to do, okay? All right, so now this must align with that. My goal must align with why I want these things. And the why must be in alignment with the guiding principles. And the plan and all of the projects and all of the tasks must be in alignment. So all of this needs to be fully in alignment. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about how it all works. So, will doing this accomplish this goal? Accomplish the why within these guiding principles. Okay? So that's the test. It's kind of like when you do subtraction and you want to test whether or not you're right or not. So you always are looking at this and saying, is this going to achieve this stuff over here? Right? All right. So now, let me show you how you do it wrong. So what we're talking about here is the goal breadth, all right? So how wide are you opening the scope? And before I get into how you write your why and your intentions and all of those things, it's all one category, but it's a very important one. I just wanted to, because I could tell when I was writing it up, I was like, oh man, this is going to be tough because I've made so many mistakes in this area before. All right, so here, if you've not watched this video, make sure you do. It was the vision video. So this is your vision or goal, and then you came out with all these concepts and ideas, and then you basically started categorizing them and arranging them and organizing them. And then when you've decided on the one thing, you're going to say, why do I want it? And what are the guiding principles that I will operate under, right? So why is Tim so focused on being a professional in network marketing as opposed to kind of a hobby and things like that? Why did I go through and read all the legal cases? Why did I go through and really know this industry? It was because it was one of my guiding principles, right? And so then my plans were basically, I'm going to show them to you a little bit later, but then comes the plan. So it's the 1 year. So what I just showed you in the intro there was my body goals for 1 year. And that was the plans, the principles, and then why I wanted it. Okay? All right. So now let me just walk you through this. So what I showed you was this amount of breadth or scope. Okay? So this little thing right here. A lot of times people don't do that. And I've tried to do it this way. And this is a whole lot of breadth. And so I say, you know what? Why don't I just set out my life goals? And so I'm going to have business inside it and relationships and animals and family and home and church and my body, right? But every time I've done this, I crashed. Every time. And the reason being is because it lacks the necessary strategy that is in that goal, why, principles. Because inside of that is your strategy, and it's why you want it and how you will do it from a strategic standpoint. All right, so when writing your goals, and as well as your vision and all of it, what you want to do is that you want to have everything in alignment. And I have found that it's near impossible to have everything in alignment when you try to add all of these things in there. Let me show you an example of this. So this right here would be what I showed you, but on the business side. So I'm going to have a business goal. I'm going to have my why for that business. I'm going to do principles based upon that business. I'm going to create my plan according to that business. So it's very specific and it's easy to align everything. But if I had a everything goal, and I wanted to write it all up, well, what would happen is that it would be too generalized up here. So my goal might be to live a happy life, right? In other words, it's too general. And so then my why is to live a balanced life because all of that stuff in there, right? And so what would my principles be? Well, they would be generic. They would be truthful, ethical, like friendly, and it wouldn't make any sense. This would have really no guidance. It would have no strategy in it. And so I've just found that not to work. It's more successful to write separate goal, why, principles, plan, 5 year, 1 year, 90 days, and then daily actions. All right. And so then I do that for my non-negotiables. In an earlier video, I talked about you're going to do basically, you're going to write up what it is that you really, really want, and then decide the one thing that you want, and then your non-negotiables. And so mine were kids and spouse, church. But I even go kid 1 and kid 2 because my kids are different. One is a little bit more athletic than the other, learning various different things. And so I like to write those non-negotiables and always write goals with them. In other words, it's like, well, wait a minute, it's not my life. Well, it sort of is, because I am responsible for those kids until they're on their own. And so I want to create the trajectory. I want to teach them how to set goals and achieve goals, right? I want to ensure that they know how to control their body, how to feed their body, and things like that. And so I write goals for every year for my kids, my relationships, church, and so forth, okay? So now, a couple of things that I want to add into this thing right here. So this was in the intro, and the main thing that I want you to always think about is the alignments process here. Will doing this accomplish this within these guidelines? Okay? So now, some of these are going to change and need to be updated. And so this is not a do it once and leave it alone. This is the guidance, but this right here this is the strategy, but this right here are the guidelines. And so these are your lessons learned. So if you do this plan, it might change. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to have to adjust something. I don't say, scrap the goal because it didn't work. No, how I did it didn't work. And if you don't plot this and do exactly what you say you're going to do, and you keep jumping around and doing different things that are not on this, trying new things and shiny object over here and this video ad on this, blah, blah, blah. They must have known I was searching for how to lose weight. And so now I've got 10 programs that I'm evaluating or something. So what you want to do is that you want to set what you're going to do it, and then you'll put your lessons learned inside of guiding principles, because that's the way I've been able to successfully accomplish this particular goal. Okay, so just wanted you to know that this may change if it doesn't work, and all new things you learn, things that don't work and things that do work. Put them over here. Okay, so it's just kind of a big picture here. These things here rarely change. Why? I might add something in a new year or something like that. My goal, it depends upon the time frame. This is the 1 year goal. That time frame might change a little bit. The next year I might be wanting to have, more endurance and less strength or something like that. Just whatever I'm up to at that time. Okay. So the big message here is really alignment. So each one of these arrows represents each step in that play. All right, and so that whole thing that I was just showing you. And they all have to be in alignment with the goal. When you have things like diverting off is where you really have trouble. All right, and so with the many people that I've worked with, and it depends upon where they're at, what they're struggling with, and sometimes it's just an activity that they're doing, but sometimes I have to go way back and get them all lined up. And when you think about a group, I want you to just ponder this. What is a group? A group is, a group of people united together for some cause, some purpose, some reason, right? Well, we're all here because we're friends of Tim's, or, we're here to celebrate New Year's, or whatever it is, right? Or this church is, everybody here is here because of the church. Well, what is the alignment in all of this? What's in alignment with a goal? Well, if you have a goal and then you go back and you say, okay, why do I want this goal? And then what are my guiding principles and what's the plan for it and so forth? Well, every member that ends up growing that, now you can think about network marketing, you can think about sports teams, you can think about church, you can think about different things. You will notice that there are some people who agree with the group, and that's all they do. And then there's other people who will contribute a little bit. And then there's people who contribute a lot. And in a network marketing business, that's most certainly true. So you may have people who agree with the company. They come because of the social. They're not on the whole plan, right? And it's fine, because I know a lot of people who come to network marketing just because of the social aspect of it. It's the getting together with people, the cookouts and the various different things that people do locally. So, and I want you to just think about everybody who does contribute. What is it that they are contributing? It has to be on whoever is running that thing. It has to be on their plan, because that is what forms a group. And the more people who know about all of the contributions that can be made. And so when you dial this thing in all the way down and you get to the pipeline, and it's on almost every video that I've shown, but it's the number of actions that contribute. So let me go back just a minute to this thing. So over here, you can just picture that on a business level, one of these items is going to be generating leads, and another one of these items is going to be contacting those leads and so forth. So those are all the contributions to the group. but also to the individual. That is the way that the individual accomplishes his or her goal, but it's also how the group accomplished their goal, and it's also how the company accomplishes their goal. And so I always find it interesting when like people will put me onto Zooms and things like that, and they'll say, could you give your prediction about what's going to happen in this year, and how much are we going to grow, and blah, 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 you know, and I always like giggle because the company doesn't grow, right? It's the number of contributions, it's the number of leads generated, leads contacted, leads shown presentation, leads who become customers, leads who become business reps, the number of people who then do the plan again. So that whole thing starts all over again. That's the reason in my business plans, what I'm trying to do right over here, I'm writing what will always be. And after the many years, I think it's going on 33 or 34 years that I've been doing this, it's so like solid. It's so not solid in the sense of non-movement. It is accurate. It works. It's always worked. Not always in the very beginning until I got all my guiding principles year after year after year, and I figured out all of the exact activities. So I just wanted to share that with you from a group perspective so that you can see that what you're doing and going to do with writing up your goals, you literally could hand, other than your personal goals and your why, you literally could hand all of that to a team member. Okay? And that, to me, is one of the greatest things about network marketing. There isn't somebody, even if you were to go to college on an entrepreneur school or something like that, they'll give you how to do the math to do predictions. They'll give you how to write a business plan and so forth, but they're not going to tell you how it succeeds. They're not going to give you the game plan. They're not going to give you the projects that you're going to do. And so that's what's really different about network marketing is you literally come to the table with a template. All right. And that's what I want you to think of as you're writing your business goals this year, because I think it's a big step there. So do me a favor and like and share if you like the video, and give me your comments. What have you seen? Right? So have you done this? Have you ever messed up and tried to stack too many things in that, goal up there, my life or something like that, and realized, man, I just keep crashing on this thing. It doesn't work to write goals and all of that stuff, because that's normally what I hear from people. And so have you done it, or have you dialed it in real tight as a single thing? So let me know that. And then also, you may consider joining our Network Marketing Power Telegram channel. So it's just at Telegram. You can just search Network Marketing Power. And what we do in there, you're able to ask me questions, and we dialogue back and forth, and other people can learn from your questions, and I learn from your questions. And a lot of times I end up doing undercut videos because I skip steps. And so there's a lot of talking about a group. There's a lot of people who get to contribute to the whole, and so forth. So thanks so much for watching this video.